Santa Cruz 5010 or FIDI-10 if you want to sound really cool. This is known as a jib bike, and it definitely is a jib bike, there's no doubt about it. But I've been riding it for the last 2 to 3 months, and I've started to realise it is a lot more than that, so much more capable. It's actually a berm hugging, trail ripping, bike park hitting machine, and I'm going to explain why. So stay with me, let's have a chat about the bike, and yeah, let's go for it. Let's go. In this video, I'm going to focus just on the actual frame and the ride. You can get the 5010 with loads of different specs and that sort of combo. So it's more about the frame, the ride. But for reference, this is 5010C, not the CC, in large, in gloss black, and it looks awesome. Just for a bit of background, riders, I've been riding a 200mm DH bike, a 170mm enduro, and a full fat bike, so I'm used to lots of travel. This is my first ever short travel lightweight trail bike, and it's a revelation to me. I got it because I wanted something jibby and fun, which obviously it is, but in my preconceived notion, I kind of thought, well, it's probably going to, the trade-off is it'll be a bit sketchy on the trails and on the sort of, big jump lines of bike parks. It's, that's where you might sort of pay the price a bit, and it'll be a trade-off. But I am learning, riders. Last 2 to 3 months, this bike has showed me just how capable, well, any bike can be. Obviously, a lot of it is the rider, but yeah, I'm really sort of stunned by it, to be honest with you, frankly. But what I want to talk about is what I think the sort of features Santa Cruz have put in the frame and the bike that make it just so capable, as well as retaining that fun jibbiness, which is why you would sort of get a lightweight short travel trail bike. So let's get stuck into it. And first thing to start with is the frame design, or noticeably a couple of the geo touches, which I think, geometry, which I think are very interesting. So let's go through that. I guess the first thing I picked up on was, I like fairly short chain stays on a bike. I think that contributes to snappy, well, it suits my riding style, but it's up to every rider. So by that, I mean the length of this effectively from the bottom bracket to the rear wheel axle. And this has, on a large, you get a 437mm. And interesting enough, on my downhill bike and my enduro, I have a 435mm chain stay. So this is a shorter travel bike with a longer rear chainstay than either of those bikes. The downhill bike has 200mm. You can, on my DH, I've got a flip switch, I can actually do 445. But what's interesting is that almost put me off buying it when I was looking at that, because I thought, well, that might make it a bit less snappy and poppy. But what I guess I didn't realize is because it's lightweight and short travel, it's got that snappy and poppiness anyway. Any lightweight short travel bike is going to be, you don't have all that, sort of travel to work through, all that weight. So by giving it a bit of I would say more of an enduro rear chain. So I'd still say it's a short one, but I don't know, I would have thought it could be shorter, but it actually, I think that gives that good balance of sort of stabilizing that lightweight and short travel poppiness to still make it ride really well on the trails and be very capable overall. I don't know that, but I'm guessing that might contribute to that. So I think that's one of the key factors. And in terms of ride quality, one thing, I don't think I could do a review about this bike over the last 2 to 3 months. It is genuinely a berm hugging machine. It handles so well around corners. I don't know why. Again, whether it's that because it's light and snappy, I don't know, but it just handles really well around corners. And it's just a berm hugging machine. And yeah, it doesn't have the lowest bottom bracket, I guess, compared to maybe a DH bike, but it loves berms. And it's just, that's how it feels when you ride it. And yeah, and I've seen other reviews before I was getting this bike that said it handles well, and it's a berm hugging amazing cornering bike, and it really is. I have no idea why. I'm not going to speculate. It just is. So yeah, you should know that. Whoa. Whoa! Yo! But where I've been most surprised about this bike is, so I took it to the first bike park I went to was Old Hill Bike Park in Cornwall. Never been there before, so obviously learning the track's a bit nervous. And there's definitely some big jumps on the main line there. And this bike, again, it carries speed well, you can trust it, had one or two cases and it didn't, the frame took it quite well. So yeah, really impressed by just how capable you can go to the bike parks and it still rips and shreds. And I don't think, because it doesn't have the weight, maybe it doesn't carry speed as well, but maybe that lightness, it accelerates. And you can, again, because it loves berms, you can carry speed out of them and that sort of thing. So yeah, in terms of bike parks, riding really well. Cut to some footage of hitting a couple of trails at bike parks.
Yo, yeah, I'll do.
And of course, it's not going to be a trail bike unless you hit some off-piste with it and hitting the tech. And the VPP, it's 130mm at the rear, definitely feels plush, and it's not that easy to bottom out once you get it set up, but you still get that plushness. So definitely feels more like a 140, 150mm travel, I'd say. It carries that plushness, but you can definitely take some big hits on it as well. The only thing is I need to ride more tech. I'm guilty, that's me as a rider. I haven't been hitting much off-piste and tech as much as I'd like to, but this bike definitely very good for that and feels stable, and doesn't feel like skittish or sketchy, which was my preconceived notion of a short travel trail bike, which this bike has completely changed. So yeah, I'm a changed rider. Thank you very much. Kudos.
Dang, Loma. Slash.
And that's all I've got to say about the Santa Cruz 5010. I guess I'm making this video because now I've been riding it for 2 to 3 months. Definitely feel like I've hit enough to really sort of talk about it. But yeah, really enjoying this bike, so much fun. And it's more, I think, to share my preconceived notion that it's not necessarily a short travel trail bike, isn't necessarily sketchy. It's all about obviously the bike and the design and how you ride it. Thanks for watching. Until next week, yo.
Boy, that's so much fun.